In this lecture, we're going to look at DAX or DynamoDB Accelerator. So DynamoDB Accelerator or DAX is in-memory caching service that sits on top of DynamoDB. And we already know that DynamoTB provides us with single-digit millisecond latency, and if that's not enough, and if your application requires even more faster performance, you can use DAX on top of your DynamoDB tables, and that's going to give you ultra low latencies like in microseconds. So a DAX cluster sits in between your DynamoDB table and the client application. So in effect, it acts as a proxy. It does save a lot of costs because you reduce the read load on DynamoDB. So essentially you save up on the RCUs that your DynamoDB table consumes. It also helps you prevent hot partitions, and when you use DAX, you require minimal code changes to your application. So for example, if you have been using DynamoDB and later on at some point in time, you decide that I want to use DAX, then you really don't need a lot of code change in your application. All you need is to point your application from the DynamoDB endpoint to the DAX endpoint, and DynamoDB takes care of the rest. So only one line of code change is all that you need to start using DAX. Now, important thing to remember here is DAX only supports eventual consistency. And if your application requests for strong consistency reads, then that requests will be passed directly to DynamoDB and they will not use DAX. And DAX is not made for write-heavy applications. It's only intended for read-heavy applications. It will reduce the read load from your database and improve your application's performance. And the DAX clusters sit inside the VPC, and DAX supports multi-AZ, so you can have multiple nodes in different availability zones, and for production use, at least 3 nodes are recommended. And again, just like any other AWS service, DAX is secure. It uses encryption at rest with KMS. It already uses VPC. It uses IAM for access control and CloudTrail for auditing purposes. So in the next lecture, let's look at the DAX architecture. All right.